All right, last step in this process is that we're going to need our piece of paper. So here I have a blank piece of our sketchbook paper. And because we're going to be coming back and forth to this drawing during the course of our week as we meet, I suggest you're going to take this piece of paper and you're going to find some sort of flat surface that you can reuse over and over again for our drawing purposes. So I have here this nice black tray. There's a piece of wood that has a little bit of a beveled edge on the one side, and I'm not going to use that side. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to place the flattest side up. If you have something like a cookie tray that you can turn upside down, that would be ideal as well. So here I have my tray. I'm going to take my piece of paper and I'm going to place it on top, and I'm going to use the middle of the tray. Next thing is we're going to take our tape. I'm going to take one piece of tape and I'm going to bring it over to the corner. I'm going to take another piece of tape, place it on the other corner. I'm going to make sure that I have taped down all four corners. I'm not taping it too strong or covering too much of the area of the corners, so just like that. And so here we now have our paper. Next thing is then we have our ruler, and then we have either our homemade triangle, or if you have a drafting set, you have a plastic triangle available to you. These are the tools that we're going to use to get started to create our first one-point perspective project. Here. So now we're going to start our first project. We're going to create our name in 3 dimensions. So it looks a little bit like maybe the Batman logo, that it goes way off up into the sky and it comes back down again into this teeny tiny point down here at the bottom. First thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to draw the horizon line. So how are we going to do that? We want a horizon line to be across the paper, going from east to west, or left to right, right to left, and is going to be parallel with either the bottom edge or the top edge of our paper. So how does that go? Easiest way to make sure that we get a line that is going to be parallel is to do a little bit of measuring. So I'm going to take 1 inch up from the bottom of this piece of paper and make a little mark. Then I'm going to go over to the other edge and make that same mark. So I now have a mark here and a mark here. By connecting these 2 marks, we are going to get a line that is 1 inch away from the edge of the paper. So there is our horizon line. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw our vanishing point. Our vanishing point is going to be in 1-point perspective around the middle of our horizon line. So go ahead and draw a dot here. This is your vanishing point. The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to draw out our name. If you want to make sure that you're drawing your name so that each of the letters is equal, go ahead and draw yourself very lightly 2 guidelines. If these 2 guidelines are not perfectly parallel, that is okay. We do not have, unfortunately, the tools that we usually do at school as far as using a T-square and a triangle. So we're just going to create 2 lines that are about as tall as we want our names to be. If you would like to freeform your names, you can do that as well. So my name is Nicole. So how do I split up N-I-C-O-L-E? Well, I know that I have 6 letters in my name. So by using math, I can divide that in half and say that N-I-C is on one half of the paper and O-L-E is going to be on the other side. So if this is about my middle, I can start my O over here and my C here. So I'm going to go backwards. So instead of writing Nicole this way, just in case I may run out, I'm going to start in the middle and work my name out that direction. So the first thing is creating a block letter for the letter O. And so there I have the O. The next thing is I'm going to go back the other way and try to create something about the same size as the O. I'm going to create the C. So here we have the C. And so again, remember, we have an eraser, so any lines that you don't like, we can correct. Next letter I know is the I, and then this direction is the L. And then this side is the N. So this one is a little bit harder. The N I know is going to be about this wide. I know that it has a little leg that comes here like this, and I know that it has a little bit of leg like that. So then I'm going to draw down and across. I'm going to bring a little bit over there and bring that down. Now the E at the very end. So there we go, Nicole. So that's how we're going to begin to create our letters in 3 dimensions using 1-point perspective rules. Next step is using those rules. We've learned that in 1-point perspective, all of our corners are going to go back to our vanishing point. So the first thing that we're going to take is this corner, using our ruler, line up the vanishing point to the corner. I'm going to then draw a straight line. I'm going to then take this next corner and draw it to the vanishing point. So lining those 2 corners up, coming down. So now I've created a new surface that belongs to this part of the N. This up here can see the vanishing point, so it also is going to draw a line to the vanishing point. So I will continue with all of these different lines. I'll meet you back here after you've drawn all of the bottom corners of your letters, and then we'll talk about the tops. Alright, so now we have all of the right angle corners to all of our different letters. Well, I didn't do anything here for the C and the O. How do we do this? Because there are no straight corners that are happening on these shapes. These are all very organic curved areas. What you're going to do is you're going to take your vanishing point, you're going to bring that ruler until it hits the edge of the shape, and then you'll draw a straight line down. And then I'm going to go the opposite direction, taking that vanishing point and tipping that ruler until it hits someplace on the C. I'm going to do the same thing for this O. Line it up to here, and I'm going to bring my ruler and line it up at the vanishing point and right where it touches the O on this side. So there, the O is done. Next thing we need to notice is that there are a lot of all of these other corners that exist that are facing the different vanishing points. So we need to create those surfaces as well. So starting here, we notice that this one is going to be able to see the vanishing point. So we're going to take the vanishing point, we're going to line it up here, and then we're going to draw a line from the corner of the N, and we're going to stop it at the I. We don't want to draw it through the I because we want this I to be solid. Then we're going to notice the same thing happens with this corner of the I. And then again, it hits the C. So I'm going to stop right as it hits the C. And I'm going to go over to this side. The E and the L, they face this direction, and so we're going to do the same as we just did. So here the L stops at the O. The E is going to stop at the O. So now we've created those surfaces that are facing the vanishing point from that direction. We're also going to notice that these are going to create some shapes. So lining up this E with the vanishing point, we're going to draw until it stops where it hits the E there. I'm going to do one more here for this E, and it stops there. So these are the insides of these letters. Now how do I do the inside of this letter? There are no straight edges that are happening here, but we do see 2 corners that are happening there. So we're going to take them and we're going to stop them when they hit the lower part of the C here. Just like that. So there we have our name in 3 dimensions. So then the next step is going to be coloring it in.